face for most of you, I think. You'd have seen him in news channel discussions related to COVID. He is the academic director and HOD in PRS Hospital Trivandrum. He brought in a lot of innovations in the field of emergency medicine, which include an ambulance networking system and emergency response, Accident Smart Alert Program, ASAP, and the Trauma Rescue Initiative. For such innovations, he received a lot of awards too, like National Achiever and Best Innovator Award, Center of Excellence in Emergency Medicine, and also he bagged the title of Best Emergency Physician, Kerala. As COVID-19 vaccine programs continue to roll out, there has also been a lot of misinformation surrounding the vaccines. And it is vital that we separate the myths from facts. Dr. Danish is here to help us in accomplishing the same. It is with immense pleasure I welcome you, Doctor, to our session today. Over to you, Doctor.
So, thank you for inviting me. So, I will try to enlighten few important points regarding COVID-19 vaccine, and later we will try to answer your questions. So, I recommend you to ask question one by one, so that there will not be any extra voices. Okay, so let us start with COVID-19 vaccine. So what is COVID-19 vaccine? So vaccine means it's a biological preparation to increase our immunity. So we can increase our immunity only by taking a vaccine or getting infected. We cannot take a medicine to increase our immunity. How can we increase immunity against COVID? Only two ways. One way is to get infected with COVID, but that is not a good option. Other way is to get a vaccination, get a biological preparation to activate your acquired immunity in the body. So whenever the vaccine is given, the acquired immunity will be activated for a particular infection. When the COVID vaccine is given, the acquired immunity will be against the COVID virus. So it contains an agent, the vaccine contains an agent that resembles the disease causing microorganism, and it is often made by inactivating or killing the virus or taking a part of the virus or something like that. So it is not the original virus inserting into the human body. They are inactivating or killing the microorganism or taking a small particle of the virus in such a way that the patient will not get infected with COVID-19, but fortunately the advantage is the patient will get antibody or immune system will be activated, and there will be antibodies produced against this infection in the body. So the body stimulates the immune system to recognize this vaccine product or the agent which is introduced into the body as a threat to the body. And what the body will do? Body will produce antibodies and store it for the further attack. So once you get a COVID-19 infection, what you will have? You already have some antibodies, so it will fight against the infection. So this is how this is what COVID-19 vaccine. Second question: why we should take COVID vaccine? The COVID-19 is spreading very fast. Like within 1.5 years, it has actually spread like anything. It has spread to all the continents of the world, and it is everywhere. It is present in every country. It is present. It is spreading very fast. So we cannot say that we will not get infected, because many people are getting. We are living a social life, so we can get infected very soon, because when we are working, when we are traveling, we are very much prone to infection. So better to take vaccine, because the COVID-19 infection, if it is occurring to 100 people, 15%, that means 15 people will need oxygen or some other support from hospital. So 15% you need some support or oxygen. Sometimes 10% of the people will need prolonged oxygenation or other treatment. So it is not a small disease like a flu or something, just will come and go, or chickenpox like it is. Chickenpox also, it is spreading very fast, but fortunately it will get controlled very soon. And another important thing is it is not as contagious like COVID-19. So better to get vaccinated so that there will be antibodies inside your body, and once you are getting infection later on, you will have enough amount of antibodies and you can fight against this infection. So that's the importance of why we should take COVID vaccine, because it's spreading very fast, and definitely we are having high chance of getting COVID-19 because our friends are getting, our family is getting, so we are having high chance of getting COVID-19 vaccine. Then next question is, it's a why like types of COVID vaccine in India. There are 3 types of COVID-19 vaccine. So one is the Covaxin, which is developed by Bharat Biotech and Indian Council of Medical Research. It is a killed vaccine. That means the virus is killed and it is injected into the human body. The whole virus, the total virus is killed and it is injected into the human body. So what will happen? The body will produce enough amount of antibodies, and in future it will protect against COVID-19. That is Covaxin. Whereas Covishield is produced from, like it is developed in Oxford University and with the help of a company called AstraZeneca. The original molecule name was AZD1222. Then later on it is given to our Serum Institute in India, in the Pune, and they are developing the vaccine. So it is called as Covishield. So both vaccines are 2 doses. It is given intramuscularly. That means it is given as an injection in the deltoid area. Like here we are giving. If you are taking in the left arm, there is no need to repeat in the left arm itself. You can take in the right arm also. There is nothing. You have to take on the same arm. And the dose is 0.5 ml. It is same for both the vaccine. For the Covaxin and Covishield, the dose is same. And the first dose and second dose is almost same. So nothing to worry. First dose and second dose is same. So this is you have to know about the and type of vaccine. Okay. So the Covishield is a vector type of vaccine. What is vector type of vaccine means? So the chimpanzee, the flu causing virus, it is very mild in nature. So we will take that adenovirus and insert the COVID spike protein into the COVID spike protein is inserted into the adenovirus, and the adenovirus is inactivated and it is given to the human body. So the body will produce antibodies against adenovirus and against the COVID spike protein. So a common question will come into our mind that Covaxin will be better because it is a whole virus and the antibody is produced against the infection. But what you have to know is how much strong the antibody is. That is more important than how many antibodies are developing. So if it is very strong, for example, if the Covishield is given and the antibody level is very high, that is more good than taking a killed vaccine. So both the vaccines are effective. They claim that it is around 80 to 90% efficacy for both the vaccine. So both the vaccines are equally important, and it is very important to take the vaccine so that the COVID-19, the wave can be crushed and we can lead a normal life very soon. Once the population, like for example, around 70 to 80% of the population is vaccinated, and if they have enough antibodies in their blood, that means they can lead a free life, like what many countries are doing that. But sometimes we need some booster doses, or we need something like that. But very soon this COVID-19 will be over. Maybe it may take 1 more year, but it will be over soon. It will not persist for 10 or 20 years like that. So that you have to know. Then one more vaccine is Sputnik vaccine. It is a Russian vaccine developed by Gamaleya Institute. It is actually going to be given in India. It is again a vector vaccine. Same 2 doses. So it is vector vaccine, the adenovirus vaccine. In the adenovirus, the spike protein is added and it is given to the patient. Next question, who should not take vaccine? See, the absolute contraindication to vaccine is, first, if you are infected with COVID-19, for example, if you are currently having a COVID-19 infection, no need to take vaccine. Okay, because you already have live virus in the body, and no need to give a killed virus into the body, because the body is already developing antibody against the live virus. So no need to give a killed virus into the body, because body is already fighting. So we should give some rest, need not give a vaccine that time. So that is the reason why we should not take COVID vaccine when you are COVID positive. Second contraindication, or second people who should not take vaccine, is those who are having severe allergic reaction. The word is very important, severe allergy. It is not mild allergy or moderate allergy. So allergy means if I am taking a brinjal or if I am taking a paracetamol, I may get some rashes, or I may get itching over your body, I may get lip swelling. These all are some signs of allergy. So allergy can be different types, mild, moderate or severe. Mild means some itchiness, redness, some itchiness in the throat, all those mild symptoms. That is very common. Those people can take vaccine, no problem. Moderate is some amount of swelling in the lip, some amount of swelling in the body. Those people also can take the vaccine because it is not life-threatening. But if you have taken some vaccine or any medicine and you have developed some sort of anaphylactic reaction. Anaphylactic reaction means severe breathing difficulty, collapsing, BP going down, developing seizure, unconscious, or severely affected and required some injections like adrenaline or some hydrocortisone like that. If you are severely infected or severely having allergic reaction against medicine or a vaccine, you should not take COVID vaccine. But what you have to know is, we are giving vaccine to severely allergic patient also. But we are monitoring them in the hospital for 6 to 8 hours. We are just keeping them there, and because some doctors will be having allergy to some paracetamol or antibiotics, but they are working in COVID wards or COVID ICU. So in those patients, what do you have to do? We have to give vaccine. So we are observing them for 6 to 8 hours. We are observing them in the hospital and then later on discharging. Fortunately, none of them are developing allergic reaction or any problem. Fortunately, it is safe now. So how many days of being COVID positive one can get vaccinated? This is another question. So what you have to know is, after 1 month of infection, you are eligible to take the COVID-19 vaccine, because mostly 90% of the people will recover within 28 days. That's why they will ask you to take vaccine after 1 month of COVID-19 infection. But in India, the rule is after 3 months because of acute vaccine shortage, and they found that many people are having antibodies. For example, if I am in COVID-19 infected, I will be having some antibiotics to protect me for next 3 months. So the Indian government told whoever infected with COVID-19, better to take vaccination after 3 months. But all other countries, it is 1 month. So that's what about the vaccine after getting infected with COVID-19. The lactating mothers, children and the pregnant ladies, now it is allowed to take vaccine because the latest studies show that it is safe. Currently, more than 12 years of age, the Pfizer and Moderna is given. That is, both are mRNA vaccine, a different technology. But in India, the Covishield and Covaxin and Sputnik is given to people who are more than 18 years. But lactating mothers and for pregnant ladies, the vaccines are given now. So that you have to understand. Next question, the final question is, what are the side effects of COVID-19 vaccine? So there are 7 to 8 common side effects which will happen to many of them. Like 70% of the people will get some sort of symptoms, only 70%. 30% will not have any symptom. For example, I got only headache. Many of my friends didn't get any side effect. So very few will have effects, or very few will have side effects. So nothing to worry that only if there is side effect the vaccine will work. It is nothing like that. That is a misnomer. So the common side effect is fatigue. 60% of the people who are getting symptoms are developing fatigue, tiredness. that it will be fine within 3 to 4 days. Second most common is pain over that area, pain over that injection site. It will be persisting for 3 to 4 days. I will tell you what to do if you are getting those type of problems. Other problem is headache, joint pain, nausea, vomiting sensation. Then some people are getting some rashes over the body. Very few are having diarrhea and abdominal pain. So these are the rarest complications which I have said in the last. But most of these problems, fever is also another common symptom. So most of the problems can be addressed with the help of 1 or 2 medicines. If you are developing fever, joint pain, headache, just take a paracetamol 650 milligram one time so that you will be fine. If you are persisting symptoms, then take it after 6 or 8 hours. Take it for 2 or 3 days, you will be fine. Anything like joint pain, headache, body pain, fever, same medicine. No need to change. But if you do not have fever or body pain, no need to take paracetamol. Then another common side effect is diarrhea. Diarrhea very rarely people can get. You have to drink so much of ORS. Okay, you have to be actively do your work. No need to take rest if you take vaccine. But you have to drink lot of water because it will help for the good vaccine process in the body. And move your hand. Do not keep your hand always in a stationary position. Move your hand. That's another important point. Then what else you can do? If you're having some swelling or pain over that area, you can dip a cloth in the cold water and keep over that area. It will reduce the pain, all those things. Wear loose dress. Do not wear tight clothes. So these are the some of the recommendations. And you should refrain from alcohol and smoking and also you should not take junk foods for next 5 days because your body is developing antibodies against the COVID-19 virus. So better to give some respect to it. Give some respect, give some time for body to develop the antibodies. So do not do things which are harmful to the body, like drinking so much of alcohol, smoking cigarettes, eating junk foods, eating sugary drinks or drinking sugary drinks. So these things you have to avoid, better to avoid. So these are the 5 important topics which I wanted to discuss. So we discussed about what is COVID vaccine, why we should take COVID vaccine, the types of COVID vaccine, who should not take COVID vaccine, and the common side effects of COVID-19 vaccine and how to overcome this. So now you can ask question one by one. Make sure you are muting, you are unmuting one by one. Okay, please go ahead.
Friends, please raise your.
Or you can comment in the session so that I can see the question or somebody can read the question. That will be more easier.
I think we lost you, Lakshmi. We'll go to the first person, Abhilash.
Yep, thanks. Hi, Danish.
Tell me.
Thanks for your session. It was very informative. Just wanted to check, I have heard so many countries are coming back to normal and people started going back to their vacations, so many vacation spots and everything, and they are doing it in bulk. And they are very much sure that they are safe. Are we safe even after 2 vaccines or 2 doses of the vaccine? Because I have heard people are affected even after taking 2 vaccines and they are affected badly and families losing their dear ones. So how safe we are even after taking 2 doses?
So even after taking 2 doses of vaccine, we have to understand that still we can get infected because the vaccines we are giving only 70% of protection. For example, if you are thinking about the old strain, it will only protect about 80%. If you're thinking about a new strain like Delta variant or Delta plus variant, the vaccines are only effective for 50%. But how it will work? Why we should still take vaccine? Because when 70 to 80% of the population takes the COVID vaccine and the virus is not circulating in the community, the chances of getting infected and chances of having this infection spread to other people is very, very less. It is called herd immunity. So we have to aim for that. We have to aim for the herd immunity. So currently the vaccines which are available to us is only effective for 80% maximum. They are claiming to 80 to 90%, but we think that is approximately 70 to 80%. And for the new variants, it is far lesser than what we expect. So it will be approximately 50%. So better to take vaccination and continue the social vaccine. Like you are protected, you have some antibodies, but still you have to make sure you are wearing double mask when you are going to the common areas. Do not avoid staying in the closed rooms. That is more important. That is more important than cleaning the areas. Many people are still cleaning the area with sanitizer, cleaning the desk or whatever they are using. They are just washing with sanitizer. That is important. But what is more important? Staying in a open area, keeping social distancing, avoiding crowds, wearing double mask is more important than sanitizing. Sanitizing is also important. When you are touching your face, you have to definitely sanitize or wash your hands thoroughly before touching your face. But most importantly, again I am stressing, because when I am speaking with the patients, they are saying that they are taking everything correctly, but in between they will go to a relative's house, they stay there in their room, the room closed with AC, one of the person will be infected and they will be infected. So that is the loop which we have to make sure that it is completely closed. You have to completely check all these things to prevent infection, further infection.
Doctor, we are taking a question from the chat. It's from Jacob. Is there any problem for taking vaccination for people with autoimmune diseases like autoimmune hepatitis or rheumatoid arthritis?
Very good question. See, that is the only one thing which you have to know. You can take vaccine, but the vaccines will not be effective as like others, because the vaccine, we are taking some medicines to reduce this autoimmune disease. For example, if you are rheumatoid arthritis or something. So what is rheumatoid arthritis? Our own immunity is producing some harmful things to our body, and that is why we are developing autoimmune hepatitis, or autoimmune problems are due to our own immunity is creating issues. So we will be taking some medicines to reduce the immunity. So when you are taking the COVID-19 vaccine also, the antibody produced from the COVID-19 vaccine will be far lesser than the others, but recommended to take. We are seeing clear evidence that these people are also developing antibodies, but that is not enough like other people. That you have to understand.
Thank you, doctor. Next, either you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Yeah, try to answer. Try to ask the question in the chat box so that it will be very fast.
Okay, so doctor, I had a question here. Is like, so I have heard about it that most of the vaccines like have the tendency to create blood clots. And for the heart patients, it is like difficult because they are already taking those medications. So would that affect somehow, or is it like recommended to stop those medications while you are taking the vaccination or something like that?
See, what you have to understand is the heart patients, the medicine which they are taking is antiplatelets. That means to prevent the clot, you are taking medicine. Or some patients like who are having arrhythmia, that means irregular heartbeats, they will be taking some medicine to prevent the clot. So there is no contraindication to take the vaccine, because the vaccine very rarely, for example, the Covishield and the vector type of vaccine, 1 in 2 lakh or 1 in 3 lakh people, it is producing one clot. That is very common actually, because if you say about a oral contraceptive pill, most of the ladies are taking to avoid pregnancy. Even if you are taking, like if you are consider like 1 in 3 lakh people, one person is developing clot for that also. We are taking it with full protection, because the COVID-19 infection, I told you 10 to 15% of the people need severe oxygenation, because you are not seeing a patient who are really struggling for oxygen. If you see them, definitely the clot factor you will not think about. Only the Covishield and the vector type of vaccines having little prone, like 1 in 3 lakh or 1 in 4 lakh person is developing clots.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Doctor, another question. It's from Nasleen. Serum IgE in the range of 20-40 and a casual test from dermatologist when investigating for dry skin. No severe issue other than need for a moisturizer. No anaphylactic reaction till date. Can we take vaccine?
So very good actually. She have explained everything correctly. So you can take vaccine, no problem.
Thank you. Next question from Fawaz. Hi doctor, is it mandatory for a person who is already recovered from COVID to take vaccination? I think that you already have answered.
No, actually that is better to explain more. See, if you are infected with COVID-19, for example, if you are having asymptomatic, no symptoms, or if you are having mild symptoms like fever, headache, joint pain, all those things, your antibody which is produced in the body will not be enough to protect another severe infection. For example, if you're developing like 10 or 20 antibodies, that is not enough. You need a high amount of antibodies. So better to take vaccinated. If you are severely infected with COVID-19, you will have some antibodies. Definitely you will have for at least 6 months or something. For example, many countries like developed countries, they are following this protocol. If you are severely infected, after 6 months, we are giving the vaccines. Because after 6 months, the antibodies wane off, it comes down. So we check the antibody level and then we give the vaccine. But for mild or asymptomatic infection, better to take vaccine because the antibody level will not be high.
Thank you, doctor. Another question from Ranjini. Is it true that people may develop allergic reactions after 2 weeks of vaccine administration?
Usually, the allergic reactions will happen within 6 hours of administration. 80 to 90% of the people developing allergic reaction will be within this period. But very rarely, up to 10 to 12 days, it is reported. Very, very rarely. But I have seen very few cases. But most of the severe allergic reaction, that you can say correctly, the severe allergic reaction will develop within 8 hours. Usually, it will not be more than that. 99% it will come within 8 hours. But very rarely, some sort of allergic reaction can present little late also.
Okay. Next question is from Srijit. He's asking, is there an upper age limit for COVID vaccine?
So there is no upper age limit. Only lower age limit is kept in India right now. That is 18 years. And we are giving vaccines for 98-year-old patients who are having multiple problems. Like for example, heart problem, cancer, so many issues they are having, but still we are giving vaccination. It is found effective.
Okay. Doctor, next question is, can a person with kidney stones, gallbladder stones take the vaccine?
So vaccine has nothing to do with the gallstones or fatty liver or kidney stone or hypertension or anything. So I told you, that is why I explained how the vaccine work before. So vaccine is working, like vaccine is inducing the acquired immunity to a particular material which is given. For example, if you are giving a inactivated virus to our body, the vaccine is only producing the antibodies. So you can safely take it. There is no harm in taking.
Thank you. Next question is from Raji. If a person is infected twice with COVID, is it similar to taking 2 doses of vaccines?
So currently, the person who is infected with COVID-19, we are giving 1 dose at least. But the trial or the experiments are still going on. Some people may need 2 doses, but with that we can say only when we check the antibody level of that person or something. So still it is actually very early to comment on that. But better to take at least 1 dose, and if possible take 2 doses. There is no harm in taking 2 doses.
Okay. Doctor, the question is like, if a person is infected twice with COVID, is it similar to taking 2 doses of vaccine?
Oh, no. Still you have to take, because see, I told you, it's about, for example, if I am infected with COVID-19, I am asymptomatic. I don't have any symptoms. Second time, I am COVID positive, I have only fever and tiredness, then that means your antibody produced against the COVID-19 will not be enough, still will not be enough. Your little bit COVID was there, that is not enough to prevent a severe COVID infection. So better to take COVID vaccine.
Another question is from Akshara. Do a woman who is undergoing through menopause symptoms get more side effects in taking the vaccine?
No, the person who is taking medicines like antihypertensive medicine, anti-diabetic medicine, medicines for seizure like levetiracetam, phenytoin, any medicine you are taking, it is advisable to take the COVID vaccine. That is the first. Second thing, if you are in the menopause stage, or if you are having stroke, or if you had a bypass surgery or a severe surgery before, you can still take COVID vaccine. But the things which you have to know is, if you are severely infected with COVID, you can wait for 1 month, minimum 1 month to take vaccine. Or if you are undergone a major surgery, wait for 1 month. If you are admitted for some other infection, like if you are admitted for a severe bypass surgery, or if you are admitted for a severe other pneumonia or other infection, severely admitted, then also wait for 1 month, because you need some time for your body to become normal. So give 1 month. If you want to give blood, it is after 14 days. If you want to give blood after the vaccine, or if you that is 14 days.
Okay, thank you, doctor. Next question is from Ramamurthy. Can we take Sputnik or Pfizer as second dose if unable to get Covishield?
Okay, currently the mix match trial is going on in many countries, but we don't have the evidence to say that Covishield with Sputnik whether we can take. But many countries are doing it. For example, the person who is taken Pfizer, they are giving the Moderna. The person who is taking the other vaccine, we are giving this. For example, the person who is taking the Sinopharm, that is a killed vaccine, they are giving the next Pfizer vaccine as a booster dose or the second dose. So many countries have started giving, and still now there are no problems reported, and they found that it is beneficial because the both vaccines act together and stronger antibodies are developed. But still we are waiting for a larger trial or larger result, but found to be useful. Many are doing. Many of the doctors have already taken. They are already taken the killed vaccine and done the booster dose with other vaccine.
Okay, thank you, doctor. Next question is from Jijesh. If a person affected after taking the first dose of vaccine, do they want to wait 3 months or for second dose?
Can you ask the question again?
If a person affected after taking the first dose of vaccine, do they want to wait 3 months for second dose?
Okay. So the current guidelines I said you, in India, we have to wait for 3 months for the vaccine.
Okay. The next question is from George. I heard that post-COVID people get affected with other disease very quickly and they seem to lose their normal immunity. How we can improve immunity quickly?
Very good question. See, after the COVID infection, it is said to, like our immunity will go down. For next to 6 to 8 weeks, our immunity will be very much down. That's why the black fungus infection or many fungal infections are being reported now. So what you have to do is, next 6 to 8 weeks, slowly regain your normal activities. For example, if you start doing exercise, start walking first, then slowly increase the capacity and increase the exercise. And about the food, you have to eat proper nutritious food that should include vegetables and fruits every day, and it should contain say 65% of carbohydrates, 15% of protein and 15% of fat. That is called balanced diet. And make sure you get enough amount of sunlight. Better it is between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Previously some people thought that it is like early morning sunlight will be better, but it is from last 10 years it is proved that even the WHO has recommended you have to get sunlight between 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at least 10 to 15 minutes to get your vitamin D normal. So that is required. And do some exercise I told you, then drink some amount of water, like around 3 liters. Say for every 25 kilogram, you have to drink more 1 liter of water. You have to measure and drink. If most of the patients, if I ask how much liter you are drinking, they are saying 3 liter, 4 liter. But when we measure it correctly, it will be 1 liter or 1.5 liter. So you have to measure and drink. For every 25 kilogram, you have to drink enough amount of water. And other important thing is avoid smoking, alcohol, sugary drinks, processed food like maida, baked items, like bakery items. So those are very important. So this is how you can regain your immunity within the 8 weeks. It is normal. The person who is infected with COVID-19, it will take 6 to 8 weeks to become normal. So it is expected. You have to understand that and move your life ahead.
Doctor. Next question is from Manju. Can we get a lifetime immunity after vaccinated?
Currently, the vaccination after COVID vaccine, 8 to 9 months, the vaccine antibodies are there in the body. But we don't know because the vaccine just released, maybe 1 year, less than 1 year, the vaccines are released. So we don't know how long the vaccines are effective. In future, we can say definitely against COVID-19, there will be more vaccines developing, and there will be an end of this pandemic because the science is very advanced. So we are expecting a very effective vaccine to end this pandemic or a medicine to end this pandemic. For example, once you are getting a COVID-19 infection, if you take a pill and if it is immediately stopping, then that is also okay. For example, the swine flu or some other infections, just you have to take Tamiflu immediately if you get an infection. So then you are safe from that infection. So such type of inventions definitely will come, but we have to leave that time till that time. So better to take vaccine and do the social vaccine till that time.
The next one is from Lakshmi. How to protect children who are too young for a vaccine?
Okay, children's currently more than 12 years the vaccines are being given in other countries, but in India more than 18 years the children's are given and the adults are given vaccine. So the children's, what you have to know is the children's, they don't have much ACE2 receptors in their lungs. So fortunately the COVID affects the lung more and it attaches to the ACE2 receptors in the lungs. But children, especially less than 12 years, their ACE2 receptors are comparatively very, very low than adults. So they don't have severe COVID pneumonia. Yesterday also I might have seen maybe 20 to 30 pediatric patients who are having COVID-19. But none of them are serious. But the same time, if I see 20 to 30 adult patients, in that 10% or 15% patient will be very sick. So that is a difference between adult and child. But having said that, you have to make sure the child is protected, because if the child's immunity is too bad or some sort of infections are hidden in the body, it can aggravate and it can cause some problem. So what you have to do, you have to make them understand this is not a fearful disease, but you have to make sure that your hands are clean, you are wearing a double mask always and maintaining the social distancing. You have to educate the child. And once the vaccine is available, ask them to take immediately, and you can ask them to stay at home most of the time, and you can buy something. For example, if the kid is so small, you can get them engaged with some like activity games or some puzzles or something like that. So get something, think something innovative and make them stay in the home healthy. If they are playing, let them play outside. That is more good, because playing inside with the door closed and other students nearby, they can get infected and they can bring the infection to your home. Most importantly, most of the child are getting infected because they do not take it seriously, or they remove mask when they go near to some child. So ask them to wear surgical mask, not a cloth mask. The surgical mask have 3 layers and it protects you from the infection. The cloth mask will help your infection, or your droplets will not go to the other person. but the surgical mask or N95 mask will protect you also from infection. So make them wear the mask at home and get it adjusted so that they will be more easy to wear these type of mask outside.
Thank you, doctor. Next question is from Gopu. A person who is affected by COVID, so how long COVID symptoms will present even after we become COVID negative?
Okay, that is a very question. COVID pneumonia or COVID patients, how long the symptoms will last? So, in an average, WHO and the Center of Disease and Control says 70 to 89% or even 90% of the person who are getting infected with COVID-19, the symptoms will last up to 28 days. So that they say 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks is the maximum period where they get symptoms. But 10% of the people will have post-COVID symptoms that can last up to 3 months. Some, for example, loss of smell, headache, breathing difficulty, some little chest pain, joint pain, brain fog, tiredness, diarrhea, loss of taste. These are some of the post-COVID symptoms which can last even up to 3 months or more up to that. So 10% of the people will have post-COVID, which I have explained in multiple videos in Dr. D Better Life, in 450, 611. These are some of the videos which I have detailed explained about the post-COVID infections. And the remedies are explained in 599 video number.
Okay, doctor. The next question is, can a person with diabetes take vaccine?
So diabetes should take vaccine because diabetes is a dangerous condition in which if the sugars are very high and if you are getting COVID-19 infection, it is not a good thing to have. It is not a good combination. So if the sugar is properly controlled, then it's fine. It is same like other people. So diabetic patient should take vaccine as early as possible. So uncontrolled diabetes is a high risk category.
The question is from Yadav. Doctor, how safe is it to take the vaccine for a person who is allergic to almost all medicines? Can we determine if this person will be allergic to the vaccine before taking the actual vaccine? And if the person take the vaccine and turn out to show allergic reactions, how severe or dangerous can this be?
Okay, I am repeating it again. See, most of the people are concerned about allergic reaction and COVID-19 vaccine. What you have to understand is, you may be allergic to many medicines or something, but if you have never developed a severe anaphylactic reaction, still you can take vaccine and be in the hospital or be in that hospital area for next 6 to 8 hours to make sure you are comfortable or fine. If you are developing some sort of allergic symptoms, then immediately go to the hospital. They are having antidotes or we are having medicines to that. So what sort of problems you can anticipate if you are having allergy? If you have taken vaccine and if you are developing allergy, you will have allergic rashes on your body. You may get vomiting sensation. You feel like you are collapsing or you feel like your head is having giddiness and you are having severe breathing difficulty. If you have any of these symptoms, immediately go to the hospital nearby and take the antidote. There are many medicines which can be given immediately. For example, chlorpheniramine maleate. If it is a mild infection, just antihistamines like levocetirizine or cetirizine will be enough. If it is a severe allergic reaction, we give hydrocortisone or some steroid along with adrenaline. It's an antidote of severe allergic reaction. So don't worry, even if you are developing allergy reaction, there are medicines. So if many are getting infected with COVID-19, better to get vaccinated and be in that area for next 8 hours. So you will be safe.
Next question is from George. I heard that phase 3 might kitchen and it will affect kids. How can we avoid that? Also, why the death rate have increased on phase 2 here?
See, phase 2, what you have to understand is, previously the COVID was affecting only 3 people from 1 person. But now, because of the variation in the mutation in the virus, it is affecting 8 to 10 people. And after the first wave, we thought that it is over, and it is very common in pandemics, where everybody will think that it is normal and they will start living a normal life. they will start mingling with other people. We have started we have even done the elections. So there are enough amount of crowding happened. So there are definitely inevitably the second wave came. The third wave is also possible because the huge amount of population is still unvaccinated and huge amount of population is still susceptible to COVID-19 because they are not infected. So still we have to anticipate. So make sure you have to take vaccine and doing the other precautions. But the children is still not getting vaccines. So that's why the many of the doctors or scientists are saying the children can get infected in third COVID wave. But make sure you are giving a good food for them, like making them eat fruits and vegetables daily, making them do some exercise, not becoming overweight, and getting the vitamin D normally, then drinking enough amount of water, avoiding junk foods or avoiding sugary drinks. So these are some of the recommendations for a good immunity and to maintain a better immunity in a person. So for the child, you have to make sure he is sleeping more. For example, a very small child should sleep up to 12 hours. So most of them are not doing that. So you do that so that the child's immunity will be higher, and even if they are infected with COVID-19, they will be safe.
I think the next
Okay.
is, yeah.
Lakshmi, we are all
Yeah.
already towards the end of the schedule time. We know there are a lot more questions there in the chat. We'll try to collate that and get it answered by the doctor himself. He also told about a contact that we could share where we will be able to ask the questions directly.
Yeah, most of the questions we already have discussed now. Many people will be having the same question. Can I take the vaccine? I am having diabetes, hypertension, stroke, heart disease. They will tell different headings. But you have to understand the contraindication I have clearly said. There are only two contraindications. One, if you are infected with COVID-19, just wait for some time to get vaccinated. Second, if you are having severe anaphylaxis, you can hold on. So these are the only two contraindications to not take vaccine. The remaining all people can take vaccine. And if you have further doubts, you can forward to the group so that they can ask me, or I'll forward a number 9495 365 247. This is a WhatsApp number which you can ask questions. We can type and message. Don't give voice message. 9495 365 247. Just WhatsApp. Our team are there. They will definitely answer to the questions.
Sure, doctor. So I believe we were able to separate out the myths and facts surrounding the COVID vaccine to a large extent. Also, we have been fortunate to have a renowned identity as you, doctor, to talk on such a subject which is of vital importance today. On behalf of our company, I'd like to convey our hearty thanks to you, doctor, for setting aside 1 hour of your busy schedule, especially during this pandemic time.